This tutorial is for Week 10 Group Assignment, Prediction Assignment. Step 1. Understand the problem. Billy and Brad are brothers who are obsessed with baseball. They want to predict which teams will win based on the team payroll. Identify variables and assumptions. They assume that better players earn more money. Therefore, they believe that teams with high payrolls are more likely to win. They want to use data to see if their beliefs is valid. They plan to create a trend line to predict winning percentage based on total payroll. I'm going to leave input and output variable blank here and let your group decide on which of these two things, the team payroll and winning percentage, is which, as that's the two variables we're talking about. Step 3. Apply quantitative tools. Billy and Brad find the following data for the last few years for Major League Baseball teams in the United States. I have changed these numbers randomly so that these numbers don't match your project. So please don't use any of the information and numbers here, but the process will be the same. The first thing is to create a scatter plot of the data. Then determine which type of trend line is most appropriate for this data. Add the trend line to your scatter plot. So over here, we're going to highlight our information right here. Then we're going to go to Insert. There we go. Scatter chart. And then we're going to come over here, put it in the text box given to us. There we go. And we can kind of see some things. Right now would be a great time I'm going to do a quick layout just to give us the axis titles. And again, these two right here will be our input variable and output variable. And I would like your group to go ahead and work on which of the team payroll or the win percentage are which. Okay, so then we are asked to add a trend line. So I'm going to click on one of these data points, right click, and add trend line. There we go. And we have different options down here. Now, the best way to decide these options is, in my opinion, to find the R-squared value. So we're going to display that, and we want the equation on the chart as well. And I can't see these very well, so I'm going to zoom in, especially for your tutorial, so you can see this. And, whoops, I don't want to move that. There we go. And I don't want this over here. We're going to get rid of that so that we have room. I'm going to move this over so that we can see. And then we're going to go through our different options for the trend line and decide which one will be best, watching our R-squared value. So our linear here is 0.4195. Now, there's lots of options, and while the R-squared will increase at times, moving in higher power versus linear, we also want to be really practical too. So sometimes we can get it to hit all of these points if we have a really crazy graph going like this, but we just want to have one that has a high R value but is the simplest high R value, if that makes sense. So we're going to try exponential here. And the R-squared actually went down, and that was only moving up one direction. We can come try polynomial, order 2, and it's 0.42, linear is 0.419. Since this is actually easier and it's only by a small bit, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the linear. So we're going to go with the linear here, and I'm going to copy this, Control C, and then come back over here on my project. And in this, press Control V to paste it. Oh, it doesn't want to paste for me, so I'm going to have to type it out. So that's okay, we can do that. Minimize it just a little bit so I can see, and type this in. In fact, I wonder if it would let me copy and paste into just a cell. There we go. And maybe it would let me copy and paste into there. Well, there we go. We found a workaround, and I don't have to type anything, which is nice because I always make typos. And if I make typos, it's likely that some other student would also make a typo. So I'm going to go ahead with that's my trend line. It looks good. We can move on to the next one. We want to find Oakland's predicted winning. Oh, we better read this. Billy's favorite team is the Oakland A's. In 2018, the Oakland A's payroll was a total of $50.7 million. Brad's favorite team is the New York Yankees. In 2018, the Yankees payroll was a total of $158.5 million. Use your trend line to predict the winning percentage for each team. So here we have our trend line, and right here is the input value, or X, and they gave us the amount right here that we're going to be inputting to find the winning percentage for both Billy and Brad's favorite teams. So what I would prefer to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it, I'm going to press Control V to paste. Oh, it didn't want to paste there again. Control V. There we go. Control copy, Control V to paste. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to leave the equal sign because I want to calculate something. And I'm going to delete this X and replace it with what I'm looking for. And don't forget to put the time sign because Excel doesn't understand if you leave that blank that you want to multiply. So we're going to type in 50.7. And we don't need to put all of the zeros in for the million, just like over here the team payroll is also in millions. You just know that that's there. So we can press enter, and there we go. That's the winning percentage based on their prediction of the payroll predicts the winning percentage. Now we can do the same thing with the New York Yankees, and again I'm going to press Control C for copy, come down here, Control V for paste, take out the Y because I want that equal sign there so I can calculate, delete the X, and let Excel know that I want to multiply, and then we're going to type in for our input 158.5. And I'm going to double check my numbers here that I didn't make any typos. Now I know I didn't make a typo with this stuff here because we copied and pasted that. So I'm just going to check this number, 158.5. It looks good. I'm going to press enter, and that's the predicted winning percentage for the New York Yankees. I am just going to double check in here that I got the 50.7 just because. Okay, so everything looks good on here. So far, we're going to zoom out just a little, make sure that we got everything filled in. Number 4, I'm going to let your group go over that, and number 5 as well. And we can move on to the car sales